Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Asad Yaqub and I'm from Lahore, Pakistan, and I teach IELTS over here. Now we are going to solve reading passage 2, and the type of questions we have here is list of headings, or we also call it paragraph headings. We will solve list of headings question. We will do this together. There are questions 14 to 19. Now I'm going to tell you how to read the paragraph, what to look for in the paragraph, then how to find the topic sentence, how to match the topic sentence with the heading, and then how to go ahead. And remember, in paragraph headings or list of headings, there are always some trap headings, some headings that might seem the right headings but actually they are not the right headings. How to save yourselves or how to escape from the wrong headings and how to find the right headings, that's all we are going to learn in this video. Without any further ado, let's take a start. Okay, now let's take a start. The question type is list of headings, and we are going to do this list of headings. So you can see reading passage 2, and then you know it already, so you need to find appropriate heading. Passage is labeled A, B, C, D, E, F, and the questions are here. So you don't need to read the headings first. If you read the headings first, you are going to waste your time. Instead of that, you need to come to this. Now let me tell you, we never know. The clue or the topic sentence can be in the first line, it can be somewhere over here, it can be sometimes with the conclusion. So the thing is, you need to skim it all and then you got to just see. And by the way, whenever you do list of headings, you need to read other type of questions as well. Like you can see here, the other type of questions are matching. So Bill Gates, this and this, I'll just underline these words wherever I find, so that this is going to be easier for me. And then there is something about robot features, DEPRA, Electrolux, and robot kitchen. So wherever I find these words, I will encircle or underline, so that when I come to do these type of questions, because for a list of headings, you have to go through all the passage. So if you keep other questions in mind, you can do them as well. Anyways, let's just take a start. Now we are going to go through the first one. They say at first sight it looked like something that looked like typical suburban road accident. Now at first sight it looked like a Land Rover approached and all that. The Land Rover pulled out the and tried to pass the as it started off again. Okay, and remember, you should know where to read carefully and where to skip. Okay, you can do this technique of na. That technique is, there was a crack of fenders and the sound of paintwork being scraped and the kind of minor mishap that occurs on road thousands of times every day. Normally drivers get out and gesticulate, exchange insurance details and then drive off, but not on this occasion. Okay. Now what it looked like, actually it was not that, but not on this occasion. Here they are actually changing. So be careful, you can find a clue. No one got out of the cars of the simple reason that they had no humans inside. So what it looked like, actually it was not the occasion. It was something different than what it looked like. Now let's go to the list of headings and we see. When you read the headings, you need to underline the clue words also, because then these clue words, and try to retain them also, these clue words will help you. Tackling the issue using a different approach. Tackling issue, different approach. A significant improvement on last time. Significant improvement last time. How robots can save human lives. Okay, save human lives and robot. Examples of robots at work. Examples, robots at work. Not what it seemed to be. Exactly. Now look here. Not what it seemed to be for paragraph A. Why? I tell you. They say here, at first sight it looked like a, and then they say, but not on this occasion. So what it looked like, actually it was not that. That's why for paragraph A, heading number 5 is the right option, and then you have to cross it as well so that it doesn't bother you. Okay, now let's go on. we just go to paragraph B and then we are going to see what is the heading for that. Okay, the idea that machine could perform to such standards is startling. All right, driving is a complex task that takes human a long time to perfect. Okay, yet here each car had its on-board computer loaded with a digital map and route plans and was instructed, okay, to negotiate busy roads, differentiate between pedestrians and stationary objects, determine whether other vehicles were parked or moving off. Now they're telling us all the things, the instructions they had given to their actually computer, and handle various parking maneuvers, which robot turns out to be unexpectedly adept at. Even more striking was the fact that the collision between the robot Land Rover built by researchers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology and the Toyota fitted out by Cornell University artificial intelligence AI expert was the only scrape in the entire competition. Yet only 3 years earlier at DEPRA, now there is one question about DEPRA, that's why I'm circling it. A previous driverless car race, every robot competitor directed to navigate across. Now they're telling us about the last thing when it happened last time. Every robot competitor directed to navigate across a stretch of open desert either crashed or seized up before getting near the finishing line. This is what happened last time and they did not let it happen. What happened actually? They say yet only 3 years earlier, a DEPRA's previous driverless car race, every robot competitor directed to navigate across a stretch of open desert either crashed or seized up. 3 years ago, they either crashed or they seized up before getting near the finishing line. So this is what had happened before, but now they say they actually did these improvements and these changes. Let's see which heading is going to be appropriate for that. Tackling the issue using a different approach? No. A significant improvement on last time? Why not? I tell you why. Now see that when they say this, previous driverless car, previous means last time. Now here you are finding the clue at the end. Previous driverless car race, every robot competitor and they crashed or seized up, but now this did not happen actually. So heading number 2, a significant improvement on last time is going to be the right answer here, and I'm going to cross it also. Clear? Now let's go on and we are going to go ahead with C. Okay, it is a remarkable transition that has clear implications for the car of the future. Okay. More importantly, it demonstrates how robotics, science and artificial intelligence have progressed. Alright, they demonstrate that. In past few years, a point stressed by Bill Gates, okay, there was a question about Bill Gates. So I'm doing it. There was a question about that ahead. The Microsoft boss who is a convert to these causes, the robotics industry is developing in much the same way the computer business did 30 years ago. Now he is actually saying that the robotic industry is developing as the computer industry did. So you need to read this carefully. As he points out, electronics companies make toys and all that. Okay, I can envision a future. Now he is explaining the same thing. This is the most important thing he said. And it is in inverted commas. The robotics industry is developing in much the same way the computer business did 30 years ago. Okay, let me see if there is anything I can envision a future. PC will get up off the desktop. Okay, here touch and all that. Okay, now let's see. Heading number 1, tackling the issue? No. How robots can save human lives? No. Example of robots? No. Why time scales are impossible? No. The reason why robots rarely move? No. Following the pattern of an earlier development? Why not? Following the pattern and earlier development. Now what is earlier development? That is about computer industry. Let's read again. Here they say Bill Gates, the Microsoft boss who is the convert to these causes, says the robotics industry is developing in much the same way the computer Now in what the same way the computer business did 30 years ago. Now computer business did. Now what is that? Earlier development. Earlier development is what the computer business did, and the pattern they are following the pattern of an earlier development. So that is the earlier development, and now robotics is actually going on like that. So for paragraph C, 8 is the right answer, and we cross it here as well. Clear? Now we are left with 3 paragraphs, and let's see what is going to happen with them. Okay, D. Yeah, D is here. What is the potential for robots and computers in the near future? All right, potential for robots and computers in the near future, and there's a question mark. The fact is we still have a way to go before real robots catch up. We still have a way to go means it's going to take time to go before real robots catch up with their science fiction counterparts. Okay, science fiction counterparts. Gates says, again Bill Gates, and I tell you we've got questions to do about that. So what are the stumbling blocks? I mean, where are we stuck? One key difficulty is getting robot to know their place. This has nothing to do with class or etiquette but concerns the simple issue of positioning. Means we need to position the robot. Humans orient themselves with other objects in a room very easily. Robots find the task almost impossible. And then they say even something as simple as telling the difference between an open door and a window can be tricky for a robot. So in order to tell the robot whether it's the open door or window, that is actually tricky. Says Gates, this has until recently reduced robots to fairly static. Now in the last line they are giving us the clue. Whatever they discussed here, and they are coming to the conclusion. This has until recently. This means they are coming towards the conclusion, and you have the clue for your heading. Now those who say read the first line and find the heading, you can never do that. Now we read all of it, but actually the clue is here. Says Gates, this has until recently reduced robots to fairly static. Static means still, and cumbersome roles. Now we go back and we see which option is going to be the right one for this. Tackling the issue? No. How robots can save human lives? No. Examples of robots at work? No. Why time scales are impossible to predict? No. The reasons why robots rarely move. The reasons why robots rarely move. Now rarely move, and they use the word static for that in the last line. The reason why robots rarely move. So heading number 7 is going to be appropriate for your paragraph D. Is that okay? Alright, now let's go on. Paragraph E, and we got to see which heading is going to be appropriate for paragraph E. Okay, this is paragraph E. For a long time, researchers tried to get round the problem by attempting to recreate the visual processing that goes on in the human cortex. Alright, that's the part of the eye, I think. Yeah. Okay, so after that they say, however, now they had this thing. For a long time researchers try to get round the problem. Okay. They are telling us about a problem. They try to get round the problem. Get round the problem means tackle, and it is ringing a bell already because we have a heading where they talked about problem and get round and all that. By attempting to recreate the visual processing that goes on in the human cortex. However, that challenge and all that, they are just explaining it. So on the behalf of this first line, I'm going to try to find out what heading is going to be appropriate for that. Heading number 1, tackling the issue using a different approach. Tackling the issue. Tackling the issue. For tackling the issue, they have used the word here. For a long time, researchers tried to get round the problem. Get round. Tackle. For tackle, they are using get round. And for issue, they are using problem. Using a different approach. And see that? For a long time, researchers tried to get around the problem by attempting. Now, this is a different approach. By attempting to recreate, for that they have used the word different approach. I don't know how these ideas come to my mind. I don't know. Okay. I have the goosebumps, huh? Anyways, so for E, the first heading is going to be appropriate. So far so good. So we have done with that also. Now I'm going to cross it as well. Now I'm left with this option, third, fourth, sixth and ninth. So let's see, one paragraph is left, and by the way, if you select a wrong heading, 2 questions will be wrong. And if you select a trap heading, then only 1 question is going to be wrong. So let's do paragraph F now, and we see which heading is going to be appropriate for paragraph F. Alright, paragraph F. Now here they say, last year a new Hong Kong restaurant robot kitchen, okay, there's a question about robot kitchen, okay. So you see that this is why I say you should read all the questions when you are doing list of headings. Again, listen and remember, whenever there is a question, list of headings, for that you need to read all the questions in advance, because when you do list of headings, you need to go through all the passages, and this is how you can at least locate the other answers as well. Now last year a Hong Kong restaurant robot kitchen opened with a couple of sensor-laden humanoid machines directing customers to their seats, okay. Each possesses a touch screen on which order can be keyed in. Alright. The robot then returns. Now they are telling us, the robot tell the people where to sit, then they take the order. The robot then returns with the correct dishes, okay, in Japan University. So here they are just telling us that the robots, they are taking order, they are helping people to sit in a restaurant, okay, and then they come with their right dishes and food. In Japan University, Tokyo, researchers recently unveiled a kitchen android that could wash dishes. Okay, so robot could wash dishes, pour tea, robot could pour tea and make a few limited meals, and a robot can make meals also. Okay, so until here they are giving us some sort of things which a robot can do. Anyways, let's just go on and we see, these are the tasks that a robot can perform. And let me tell you another thing, as you read, at the back of your mind you should think, what am I reading here? What is it that I am reading here, right? And you should think about it. Now when I read about it, I say correct dishes, then they say recently unveiled a kitchen android that could wash dishes. So all these are the tasks, or these are basically the works, right, a robot can do. So they are just talking about that. This is at the back of my mind. And now let's see, when I go back for F, let's see how robots can save human lives. They didn't talk about it anywhere. Now we have the last question. So it means this was a trap heading. Examples of robots at work. Why not? Why not? Absolutely. I tell you why. Let's go back to paragraph F. They say here, robot kitchen opened with a couple of sensors and all that, customers to their seats. Now this is one task. Customers to their seat, each possesses a touch screen on which orders can be taken, orders can be keyed in. This is another task. The robot then returns with the correct dishes. This is another task. In Japan University, Tokyo built kitchen android that could wash dishes. This is another task. Task 1, 2, 3, 4. So all these are the tasks a robot can perform. That's why heading number 4, that is examples of robots at work, that is going to be the right answer. So example of robot at work, I'm going to cross it here. Now let's see what other headings are. Trap. Why time scale are impossible to predict, trap heading, and the ethical issue of robotics, that was also trap heading. By the way, if you are trapped, your one answer will be wrong, and if you find a right heading and you put it at the wrong place, then your 2 answers will be wrong. All the best. Welcome back. How was your experience with list of headings, huh? Good one. That's lovely. Fantastic. So this is how you need to solve list of headings. I have another video on gender training list of headings. You can watch, because the techniques are same, so you can watch that video as well. And I would suggest if you take some practice tests with list of headings, because now you have learned the techniques and the tips about list of headings. So if you apply these techniques there, Definitely the knowledge is fresh, so you can adopt all these techniques while applying them on one practice test. If you like this video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe my channel. I also teach IELTS online. If you want to join my online IELTS classes, you can contact me for that. Asad Yaqub wishes you all the best. Take care. Allah Hafiz.